Alright guys, so here is my crock pot. It is absolutely full of onions. This is probably about 5 pounds of sweet onions. Like I said, this is the first time I'm doing this. I am caramelizing them. I did not know this was a thing you could do in your crock pot. I wish I had known earlier. Like I said, I learned about this from Whippoorwill Holler. I believe that's her name. I'll link it below. I would have never have thought in my life that you could caramelize onions in a crock pot. You talk about an amazing way of doing something and not having to deal with on top of the on top of the stove. So anyway, this is what it looks like now. I'll show you in the morning as it cooks down. I did spray the pan, the crock pot itself, to keep it from sticking and burning. It might not. And I added a stick of butter. I don't know if you could tell, I kind of added it throughout, and I'll probably stir it about halfway through. It's about 9:30 in the evening right now. I'll try to come back and show you what it looks like later. But like I said, I am attempting for the first time to caramelize onions in the crock pot. So I guess this is part of the hashtag use your cookbook challenge. But this time I'm just trying to find another way of doing something instead of actually cooking a recipe, because I will be putting this on something that I'm cooking. So let's go ahead and get this cooked down and see what it looks like in the morning. All right, guys, it's been almost 12 hours. I put these in at 9:30 last night. It's about almost 9 o'clock in the morning right now. I started this pot on low, and I ended up going like halfway through and putting it on high because it really wasn't doing anything. So I'm going to go ahead and take this top off, show you what it looks like on the inside. Like I said, I did end up adding a stick of butter. I probably should not have added a whole stick because there's still a lot of liquid, as you can see right there. But we all know that onions cook down with water anyway. The problem is they're looking like caramelized onion stuff right now, but there's just still like a whole lot of liquid, which, you know, this is not what I'm wanting right here. But let me go ahead and bring it up here and show you what it looks like. Okay, you can see how it's dripping right there. It really shouldn't be dripping. It should be like a thick, syrupy texture. I don't have that yet. So what I'm going to do is put this back in here and let it cook. The smell is absolutely amazing. It's already doing what I want it to do. As you can see, it's really cooking high. What I'm going to do now, since it is at such high temperature, I'm going to go ahead and leave the top off of it for the next several hours to see if it will caramelize like I want it to have that thick syrupy flavor. Consistency, I should say, rather. So yeah, as long as I've got the heat going and like it's still boiling, if we can get some of that liquid off there, maybe it might caramelize the kind of texture I'm looking for. I don't know. Like I said, this is part of my hashtag pantry challenge. I'm wanting to grow a lot of onions this year, y'all. I really do, because I've got this thing for onions lately, and I'm trying to go for basic, simple foods that can be used in various ways. And onions are one of those things, not to mention they're extremely high in vitamin C. They're really good for you. But like I said, this is one of the items I'm wanting to grow a lot of onions this year. So I'm trying to find different ways to use them. And this is part of the hashtag pantry challenge still going on. Still trying to figure out different ways to use items in my pantry. This time in particular, it's going to happen to be not necessarily making a recipe this time. I guess this is more of the pantry challenge thing. It's trying to use what I've got and use it different ways. And honestly, I'm serious. I had no idea you could do this until I did a Google on YouTube last night and saw caramelizing onions and canning onions. And this one came up on Whippoorwill Holler. And I'm like, oh, wow, Holler. Whatever. I love that channel. Anyway, and it's amazing. So anyway, I'll come back and show you the final product. And yep, this will be actually a recipe I will add to my little challenge one way or another, because y'all, I am definitely doing my best to try to come up with different ways of using items, and of course this onions is one of them. So anyway, we'll be back and show you what they look like within a few hours. All right, it's been about, let's see, it's almost 11 o'clock now. I did 2 more hours, but this time I took the lid off of it, and now I have beautiful caramelized onions. I put it on high, like I said. Let me show you now. You can see there's not much liquid. It's actually thick, which is what the caramelization is. It's a little bit of, but not much. Syrupy part. But let me pull this up here and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, you see that? It's not, get it in. It's not dripping now. Okay, it's not dripping like it was before. It's thick. Let me get another one to see if I can do it. Yeah, It's not dripping like it was before. You could tell it's actually got that luscious caramelization going on. Yeah, and the flavor, absolutely amazing. So this is definitely a way to go with, if you want to caramelize your onions and you want to do it with hardly any effort. It took a lot more time than I thought. Maybe I should have probably put it on high to begin with, and then kind of went from there. But so basically this took me probably 12, 13, 14 hours, literally 14 hours, from 9 o'clock and 9:30 at night till 11 o'clock the following morning, which is perfectly fine because you just put it there and leave it alone. In the last 2 hours, I took the top off so the water would evaporate and it would make the caramelization basically kick in. I will be putting these on hamburgers tonight, and you know, if my canner was working, which I really got to get onto that, I would definitely can these up. I'm not sure how it would make the flavor taste, if it would make it more mushy or not. I really don't know. A lot of people do it. I guess it's just one of those things I'd have to try for myself. So anyway, hashtag use that cookbook. This wasn't from a cookbook. This was a recipe I got off online at Whippoorwill Holler. I'll try to leave a link up above her channel. And yeah, and also the pantry challenge still going on. Still trying to use what we got in our pantry and find new ways of using them without wasting them. So anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Thank you so much for stopping by. Y'all, this stuff, it smells absolutely aromatically beautiful. Anyway, you guys have an awesome day. Thank you so much for stopping by. God bless.